What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and these two are having a lover's quarrel. They're arguing about who is the strongest. Proxima thinks she's stronger than Corvus. Corvus thinks he's stronger than Proxima. So that is exactly what we're going to test today. Now, a few differences between these characters is one's a universal, one's a speed. One is an energy-based character, the other is physical attack. And speaking of that, we need to take a look at my card effects, because whenever you do these kinds of tests, especially when you have an energy and physical attacking character, you need to make sure that the physical and energy attack are the same when you're doing the comparisons. That's the only way to actually be fair. And on my cards, I do have more energy attack than physical attack. I have about 18% more energy attack than physical attack. I do actually have an energy and physical attack proc on my cards, which is actually pretty cool, and they activate the same way, so that's actually pretty fair across the board. But we have that 18% extra energy attack, and my Proxima actually has a mighty CTP of energy that's giving her an extra 16% all attack, which plus the 18% extra energy attack that I have on my cards is 34% extra attack. Now, to remedy this problem, what I've done is I've actually gave Corvus Winter Soldier's leadership in this comparison. Now, it isn't 34% extra attack, it's 30%. So we're still losing 4%, but it's close enough, right, guys? I mean, it's close enough. With just 4% difference, you'll definitely get the idea about who is actually stronger, at least in the game modes that we're going to be facing today. And I do have Thanos on this team because I want that extra critical damage to max out Corvus's critical damage, because Proxima actually has max critical damage. Now, if you take a look at their stats, Proxima has 46,575 energy attack. And Corvus, with Winter Soldier's leadership, has 46,400 physical attack. That is very, very close. And Corvus's details, close enough to max attack speed, max critical rate, max critical damage. All the stats are maxed. And then when you take a look at Proxima, all of her stats are maxed out as well. Her critical rate actually gets maxed out, I believe, from her 4th skill. I think it's her 4th skill. Yeah, her 4th skill. Something to note about Proxima also, she has the 60% increase of all attack on her 4th skill, which is just nuts. And then on top of that, she has the 40% increase of all attack here. And she also has the uniform effect that increases damage to supervillains by 35%. That is a massive, massive leg up against Corvus. He doesn't have that kind of support, and this is a part of her kit. If you're trying to be fair and compare characters against each other, yeah, you want the physical and energy attack to be the same, but if characters have certain passives, they just have a certain advantage. It's all fair in love and war, my friends. And as far as skills, they're all maxed out, and her ISO 8 is fully awakened, Power of Angry Hawk set, and Corvus actually has a fully awakened overdrive set. That's why his attack speed isn't maxed out, because we're not using Power of Angry Hawk, but I'm not going to spend a bunch of gold re-rolling, and honestly, it'll be just fine the way it is. You still get the same attack bonus from both of these ISO 8 sets. And then, of course, you got CTP of energy on him, and then you saw the mighty CTP of energy on her. Both of them have a 200% damage proc. And then his uniform is mythic. And you take a look at his uniform options, just to show you guys. You got Nimrod here, Thor. I actually could max out his attack speed right here if I wanted to. Got a little extra HP from Red Hog, more dodge from Jean, and then the critical rate from Invisible Woman. Which is, man, his uniform options really are kind of, I mean, a lot of people are probably going to have this uniform here, probably going to have it leveled up. Thor, yeah, but a lot of people are going to have that. That's actually pretty good. Nimrod, I mean, it's a paywall, so maybe some people won't have that. And then a lot of people might not have this uniform, although I think by now maybe some people will, but it really was never that good of a uniform. And as far as Proxima's uniform bonuses, her uniform is also at Mythic. So, I mean, their builds are virtually the same. You see you got Punisher here, Odin, Magneto, Iron Man, and then you have Valkyrie. And as far as the Urus, just really quick, you'll see Mythic Urus across the board. And then the same is going to be for Corvus. He has Mythic Urus across the board. So like I said, their builds are virtually the same. So now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty of this video to see which one of these characters is actually stronger against Null and Mephisto. Let's rock and roll. Alright guys, so now we're doing a split screen, and I decided to go ahead and remove the background from me. That way you guys can see more of what's going on the screen. And we got Proxima on the left, and we have Corvus on the right, and this is against Null. And I gotta say, I mean, Proxima looks like she's pretty much destroying Corvus, and that's a lot to do with the fact that she has that damage to supervillain, right? Plus, she's a universal character, so she doesn't have a disadvantage against Null because he's universal, and Corvus is speed. So he actually does take a little bit more damage from Null because of the fact of that, right? Universal do a little bit more damage to speed. They do have a little bit of an advantage over other types other than Universal. So that's something to keep in mind when you're watching these runs. And as far as strikers, I just use the same ignore dot strikers for both of them. No extra damage at all. For Proxima, I just got Moon Knight and Shirag on there just for fun, right? Just to have them there. And Corvus, the team that I showed you all earlier, to get that extra critical damage and critical rate from the team up bonus with Thanos, and the extra physical attack from Winter Soldier. And I gotta say, man, you know, Proxima is doing pretty awesome. I mean, this is stage 9. She is whooping up on Corvus. She is whooping up something fierce. And again, you know, it's because of that damage to supervillain. It's just, it's a big thing for this character to have that. And, you know, she does have the accumulation, but so does Corvus. You know, he has accumulation also on his skills, right? On his transcendent skill, I'm sorry. The same with actually Proxima, who has the accumulation on her tier 3. And, yeah, they're just, you can see that Proxima is actually at the 14th bar, whereas Corvus is actually at the 25th bar. I mean, she's about 10 bars ahead of him. She is murdering him. My God, this is ridiculous, right? Now, obviously, if I had Proxima on the team with Corvus and he was getting that extra 35% damage of supervillains, it would be a different story, right? He would be doing even more damage. But that just wouldn't be a fair comparison because that damage to supervillains is not a part of his kit. We're comparing character versus character, and we just want the exact same stats or close enough to the same stats as possible to make this as fair a comparison as possible. And yeah, I mean, she is just, I mean, Corvus is doing awesome, guys. I mean, honestly, just having a 30% increase of physical attack leadership, it's pretty amazing the damage that he's putting out. But Proxima is just ahead of the curve, big time. And something that's nice about both of these characters is, you know, I can actually die with Corvus and get his awakened skill immediately in the run, which you saw earlier. With Proxima, because of her core effect passive with the healing, she just has so much survivability. Look at that, guys. 2 minutes and 12 seconds. And Corvus is still fighting. But because of her healing passive, she just doesn't die. You can play super aggressive with her. And you don't have to worry about her croaking. And really, because of Corvus having to heal on his 3rd skill, and the fact that he has to revive, I mean, you can play pretty carelessly with him too. That's something both of these characters actually have in common. And I mean, it's pretty funny to see Corvus still trying to get it done against Proxima. And I do apologize for the background music from one of the fights while the other music is still going on from the other side. I should have, the next time I do a split screen video like this, guys, I'll make sure that the music is on for either one of them, and we'll just play some different music in the background because it is kind of annoying. I do apologize for that, but I already had this video made and this took a bit of editing to already do this. So we're getting ready to pause this sucker here. And look at that, guys. 1:27. So that is what? 33 seconds. 33 and 12 is 45 seconds. She did this 45 seconds faster than what he did it. That is crazy, guys. Now here against Mephisto, you're going to see a stark difference from what you all just saw. This is where Corvus is really going to shine because of the fact he's a speed type. And something I didn't show you guys earlier is that my Corvus does have a rank 5 type enhancement. So he's doing a lot of extra damage to Mephisto because he does have the type advantage, right? And even though Proxima does have that extra 35% damage to the supervillains, Corvus is actually getting more of a buff against Mephisto because of the fact he's a speed type. And this is where he's really going to shine. You're going to see him plow through this much quicker than her. I mean, she did against Null, she was 45 seconds faster than Corvus. So let's see how much faster he is against Mephisto than her, because we all know, I mean, look, you can see it already. He's plowing through this like it's nothing. And again, you know, because of the fact that, you know, these characters have the damage accumulation, the heals, the survivability, the damage output, they're just insane, right? They are so good for this. And again, this is stage 9, just like it was against Null. And it is just murder. We're using the same strikers for both teams. Just damage the supervillains, increase attack, and then a couple movement speed strikers, and that's it. The same for both of them. And actually, both Proxima and Corvus actually do have good movement speed. I mean, look at this, guys. Murder, my friends. Corvus is destroying us. I mean, Proxima's doing amazing, too. I mean, she is no slouch, right? Because of the damage the supervillains she has, she's no slouch. She freaking murders, too. It's just Corvus has a massive, massive advantage here, and it's pretty obvious that he does. I want to try to pause this whenever Corvus gets a kill so we can actually look at how long it took him to do this, because it's not far from it. And something else to note about both of these characters is they have a remove all debuff on the tier 3 for Proxima and the transcendent skill for Corvus. So whenever Mephisto's in that last phase and he's can stun, when you have that debuff removal on, you won't get stunned. So when you use the tier 3 and when you use the transcendent skill, you're not going to get stunned. So as you just saw, what I did with Corvus is I just went ahead and did the transcendent skill. And I knew I wasn't going to get debuffed because of the debuff removal from his transcendent skill. 3 minutes and 12 seconds, guys. Down to 3 minutes and 12 seconds. So let's keep that number in mind for Proxima. I mean, she's still got, quite a few bars to go. It's the opposite of what we all saw against Null, right? It's the opposite. And this is pretty much what you would expect. And this isn't to say one character is worse than the other. I mean, I think both of these characters are freaking awesome. I do think that Proxima has more utility just because of that damage to supervillain passive that she has that applies to all villain allies. I do think that's a big utility reason to have her. But as far as just, the characters, the relevance, how good they are, man, I think they're both insane. I mean, they're both just great survivability, great damage, and we're just going to go ahead and go for the kill. We hit that tier 3. We're not going to get stunned. 2 minutes and 16 seconds, guys. So Corvus did this by 3 minutes and 12 seconds. She did it by 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And that is a big difference. What are you looking at? 54 seconds different, right? Like around 50 seconds, a little bit more than that, difference in their times. So against Null, Proxima had a 45-second. She did it 45 seconds faster than Corvus. And against Mephisto, Corvus did this over 50 seconds faster than Proxima. Both insane freaking characters, but I thought it'd be fun to have a little Lover Coral video. So let me know how y'all feeling about this comparison, and if you'd like to see more in the future. And I do stream on Twitch at Reset. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See ya.